So let's have a big round of applause for that. As with many things, Galveston was the first city in Texas to develop a street railway system. In 1866, Galveston City Railroad, GCRR, was chartered and began operations in 1868. The first cars that transported people around the island were not electric, but were drawn by mules. And the mules wore cowbells to alert the pedestrians when they were coming into an intersection. With no, yes, we might need those again.
More cowbell.
But this was the way that the system operated for the first 24 years of service. Then in 1890, the decision was made to electrify the system, and the mules went away. But something happened in 1900. And the storm of 1900 destroyed the electric system. So we went back to mules for the next 4 years while they were working on that system. And then the streetcars continued service until 1938. In 1938, they stopped operations. And for 50 years, we didn't have streetcars here in Galveston. Then, thanks to the Moody Foundation and the Mitchell family, service was returned in 1988, and the rail cars came back into service. Then we had another storm, and Hurricane Ike took out the system once again. So, since 2008 until today, 13 years have passed, and we're now entering into the third era of rail transportation here on the island. So we're very excited to welcome these amazing streetcars back into service. It's one of the defining elements that helps to make this an amazing place to live for all of us that live here on the island, the 50,000 of us, and also a fantastic place for people to visit, with over 7.5 million people who come and visit us every year. So with that, we are thrilled to have these streetcars back into service. We have some great presentations today. First, Fluffy is going to talk to us about how excited he or she is. But we have our very own mayor, Mayor Craig Brown, and City Councilman David Collins, District 3, both who are going to share a few comments with you. And then afterwards, we're going to do a ribbon cutting, and we're going to pop off some environmentally friendly confetti bombs. So we'll be doing all of that after the speeches, so stick around with us. But with that, if you'll help me to welcome Mayor Craig Brown.
Thank you very much. What a pleasure to be here. This is so exciting to me, and I know it's exciting for you to bring our trolleys back here. This is just wonderful. I wanted to make this as quick as possible, but I want to recognize a few entities and individuals that played a role with this. First of all, I want to recognize current city council members. We have David Collins, of course. We have Sharon Lewis here that is here. Sharon? Also, I wanted to recognize the past council members that played a role. It's easy for us to get on these trolleys and wave to everybody, but these past council members put a lot of effort into evaluating these trolleys and voting to bring these trolleys back. We have Ralph McMorris with us. Ralph? Carolyn Sincere, we've got Carolyn with us. Any other past council members here? Okay, very good. Also, what we did to bring these trolleys back is we established a trolley committee. And these were individuals that worked tirelessly to research and to go through all the bureaucracy and so forth to bring these trolleys back as we see them today. It was headed up by Kyle Albright. Kyle?
Yeah.
And members of the committee, would you raise your hand, please? Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. It was a partnership also with so many individuals and organizations. FEMA, we was involved with the funding of these. Also, we had the Federal Transit Administration involved with these. And we had a number of other governmental agencies that were involved with bringing the trolleys back. We also worked with the Goodman Corporation, who helped facilitate all of these activities to bring these trolleys back. And I want to recognize also Gomeco from Iowa. They put out an unbelievable effort. There's very few companies in the United States that can restore these trolleys. And these trolleys are brought back to exquisite condition. It took a little while, but it's because of the patience and the passion that Gomeco provided for these trolleys. I think we have a representative from Gomeco here. Thank you, sir. And kind of to wrap it up, I want to thank city staff, Brian Maxwell, our city manager. Brian, thank you. And also a shout out to David Smith. David, where are you? Yeah. Thank you, David. I was talking to David earlier today, and I told David, you probably know more about trolleys than you ever wanted to know. And he said, yeah, that's the case.
So what I want to know, I hear you.
But anyway, thank you, everybody. Before I kind of end my presentation, I wanted to mention something. With the Goodman Corporation, there was an individual that really brought this trolley project and nursed it along. This gentleman not only provided the impetus for the trolleys to come back, but also was the impetus behind the Livable Communities Initiative for some of the changes downtown, the transit terminal, and for the amenities on the seawall. And I want to especially recognize John Carrera. John Carrera, in appreciation for many years of loyal support and dedication to the city of Galveston. Thank you. You know, these trolleys, as mentioned, are iconic to Galveston. They represent our spirit here in Galveston, the historic spirit, the resiliency, and the sustainability of this community. And that's what these trolleys represent. I'm so proud to bring them back. I'm so anxious to get on them and ride them. And thank you for being here. Let me introduce David Collins, District 3 representative.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of people I want to give a shout out to who weren't mentioned. Bob Brown, our planning commissioner. Raise your hand, Bob. You were on that original committee. Craig Dick, who's not with us this morning, was also instrumental in that, and I know Clyde Wood and Kyle Albright were very instrumental in that. And let's not forget the person who really, when you get right down to it, made this possible, and that's George Mitchell and the Mitchell Family Foundation. So thank you Two things I want to address real quick. One is the money. Well, two things I want to address real quick. Bogart the mic. Is the money. Keep in mind, your property tax dollars are not funding these. These are funded with FEMA funds. Insurance rebuilt these trolleys, and they're going to be supported with hotel tax dollars. That is to say, the tourists are going to be paying for these trolleys. We always wonder where the money comes from. In this case, this is coming from tourists. And second, I want to talk about safety. The newspaper said the other day, they had a list of safety rules. They said, the trolleys are quiet, don't let them sneak up on you. I don't know, the trolley must have been sitting still when they because you will notice the first thing, that when they crank up, they're noisy. They're not going to sneak up on you. Second, you ever heard the phrase bells and whistles? That comes from trolleys. They have a bell, they have a whistle. And these guys have all the bells and whistles. And the first time you hear that whistle, you will know what I'm talking about. It is not designed to, thank you. It is not designed to scare children and small dogs. It's designed so that tourists with the music blasting loud, driving in front of it, can hear it when it comes up behind them. Second, be careful where you park. Somebody asked me one time, can I park in the red zone in front of Maud if I put my blinkers on? I said, are you driving a fire truck? If not, the answer is no. We've already had to tow a couple of cars because they parked in a curb right next to the trolley tracks. The trolley will hit that whistle one time and call the cops. So don't park near the trolley tracks. And third, the mayor has decreed that despite his appeal, City Manager Brian Maxwell cannot drive the trolley. So let's get on the trolley, let's cut the ribbon, let's get the show on the road, let's be happy that the trolleys are back on track in Galveston.